Alright, so back in our project here, we have set up quite a lot of stuff already. We have animals running around, we have this camera track that we can hide, we have grass, we have all these little stones, we have our buildings, we have all of our physics objects, but we're missing sound, specifically background sound. You know, when you're in a game, you really want to have background music. I know some people turn it off, which is fine, but I can't imagine playing a game myself without background music. So we're going to add that in today. I've used the Mega Game Music Collection here, and they have some really good tracks in there. So if we go to our music folder here that I've created, we can see I've just copied over all of these different WAV files from that asset pack. These are just a few of the ones that I happen to like. So now we're going to create a music cue, or sound cue, and we're going to name it Music Manager. Let's open that up. So right here, we need to add in a bunch of wave players. And then we can just plug in all these sound files. Now we have all of our different sound files in here. And if I just play one of these, you'll see it starts playing music. So now we want a random node. And we're going to need 10 outputs. Or inputs, sorry. Now let's get a looping node. Plug that into the output, plug it into the input. And then let's get a delay between each one of these times it's going to play. And we're going to set that delay to 0.5 seconds and 3 seconds. And then let's just plug that in here. Let's set the volume modifier to 0.5. And now we should be able to play this and it'll select a random cue and play it. And there it is. And because it's looping indefinitely, whenever we call this sound manager, every time one of these finishes, it'll select the next track. Alright, that's good. Let's save that, close it. Let's open up our level blueprint. There's a few different places you could handle music. You can handle it inside the level blueprint, which is good for dealing with different types of levels. Like if you wanted a certain kind of music theme in like a city compared to outside the city walls or inside a tavern, you could set up different music managers inside of those different level blueprints. Now, if you wanted persistent music, you would use most likely a persistent level with level streaming and put the music manager inside of that. You could also put it inside the game mode, but for the sake of this, I'm just putting it inside the level blueprint here in the town of Robark. So, we're just going to do play sound 2D, and we just got to select our music manager. And that should be it. Now, if I press play here on my headset, we'll load in, and you should be able to hear the sound. It may be a little loud, maybe even a little jarring how it starts like that. We might be able to use like a fade node or something similar, but it works. I think the problem is that it's just a little too loud for my taste, but that's something we could add in settings. Alright, and that's pretty much it for adding in the music manager. The next thing I want to do is add in the sounds for if books are falling or potions or whatever, something like that. So if I drop bread off a table, it's going to make a little sound, you know? Watch the playlist on how the project got to where it's at so far. Consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you tomorrow.